Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Today's learning should be a schus merit for Refuah Shalema for Gavriel ben Etel Gita.
Amen.
Okay, so we are in Mishna Nedarim, Parak Gimel, chapter 3. We're in the middle of Mishnah Yud Aleph, and we're starting from the words Rabbi Shmuel Omer. Rabbi Shmuel says, this is unrelated to Nedarim. It's just that once we started talking about the discussion about if a person makes a neder from people who are arelim or muhulim, so now we just finished off with a comment from Elizabeth ben Azariah that the arl of the foreskin is repulsive. We now continue talking about the importance of the mitzvah of Mila. Rabbi Shmuel says, Gedola Mila, great is the mitzvah of Mila, great is the mitzvah of circumcision. Shenichrasu aleha shalosh esri brisais, that 13 covenants were made concerning it. 13 of them. Where do you find 13 covenants? The answer is, as the Bartanura says, when Hashem instructed Avraham with the mitzvah of Milah, he made a bris, a covenant with Avraham. Right? It's called bris Milah, the covenant of Avraham. The word bris appears 15 times in various forms in that section. So the fact that it says 15 times the word bris means to say that there were 15 brisais, 15 covenants that were made regarding the mitzvah of Milah. Okay, that's the first statement. Rabbi Yossi Omer, the sage Rabbi Yossi said,
15 or 13?
13.
13.
Rabbi Yossi Omer, Rabbi Yossi says, Gedola Milah, great is Milah, Shadoichas HaShabbos HaChamura, that it even overrides the prohibition of Shabbos, which is strict. We know that if the 8th day of a child's life, the day of the bris falls out on Shabbos, the Torah tells us, we have a source in the Torah that teaches us that bris milah is performed even on Shabbos. So the fact that the Torah allows that shows you how great the mitzvah of milah is. Bishua ben Karcha says, Gedola Milah, great is milah. Shaloi nitla lo l'meisha hatzadik aleha meloisha. The mitzvah of milah is great because on account of neglecting it, the righteous Moshe was not spared for even one short period of time. This is referring to the fact when Moshe delayed the milah of his second son Eliezer, an angel immediately came to punish him as related in Shmois Dalid. Okay, so you have Moshe Rabbeinu. You ever saw this phrase on Moshe HaTzadik? Okay, but it refers to Moshe as a tzaddik, and nonetheless, the fact that he delayed the milah for his second son, he was immediately punished for it. Reb Nechemia says, Gedola Milah, great is milah, shadoichas hanagoyim, that could override the prohibition of removing a tzaras affliction. Now what that means is, tzaras is a certain type of skin disease that makes a person impure, as described in detail in Vayikra, Tazria Mitzayra, and the Torah forbids cutting off a patch of tzaras from one's skin. That we find in Devarim. However, the sages derive from a verse that if tzaras is present on the foreskin, milah must be performed despite the fact that it will remove the tzaras. So even though there's a prohibition about removing tzaras, in place of milah, it's overridden. So again, that shows us how important milah is. Rabbi Omer, Rabbi said, Rabbi refers to Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi, Rabbi Judah the Prince. Gedola Milah, great is the mitzvah of Milah. Shkol HaMitzvah Sha'as Avram Avinu, that after all the mitzvahs that Avram Avinu did, L'nikra Shalem, it was not called complete, Ad Shamal, until he performed the Milah. Shenemar, as it says, until he had a Milah, as it says, Hisalech Lefanai V'Yesamim. This is in where the Torah, where Hashem told Avraham about the mitzvah bris milah. Hashem says, Hisalech lefanai v'yesamim, which translate as, walk before me and be complete. Okay, and then what was then right after that? Let me read here from the bottom. The first verse. After this pasuk, meaning after this pasuk of walk before me, be complete. That's where Hashem says, I will set my bris between me and you, which refers to the mitzvah bris milah. So basically, the way the psukim read are, Hashem says, walk before me, be complete. I will set my bris between me and you, which refers to bris milah. And therefore, the first verse can thus be interpreted as follows. Walk before me in fulfillment of the mitzvah of Milah, it will thereby be complete. So the fact that Hashem says, walk before me, be complete, and then talks about the mitzvah of bris Milah, that putting them together tells us that how does Avram Avinu become complete? With bris Milah. And this is even after all the mitzvahs that he done until now. Nonetheless, he's not called complete until he has a bris. Davra acher, or there's another point of the importance of bris Milah to be made. Gedai la Milah, great is Milah, she'el malehi, that if not for it, meaning if not for the mitzvah of Milah, Leibar Kadosh Baruch Hu Hashem would not have created his world. Without that mitzvah, the world would not have been worthwhile to create. Shenemar, as the pasuk states, Koyamar Hashem, so says Hashem, Imloi Barisi Yemim V'Layla, if not for my covenant of bris Milah, that is day and night, which is upon you day and night, Chukais Hashemayim Baris Leisamti, the laws, meaning the natural laws of heaven and earth, I would not have established. So what the pasuk is saying, if not for my covenant, I wouldn't have established the world. So that shows you that if not for the mitzvah of Milah, the world would not have been created. Now, there's an interesting point here to make. The pasuk reads, Imloi Barisi Yomim V'Layla, if not for my covenant of day and night. And we're saying that's the covenant of bris Milah. How is bris Milah covenant at night? You can't do a bris Milah at night.
Shalom Zachar.
The answer is, although the mitzvah of Milah can be performed only in the daytime, the verse calls it a bris that applies day and night because it remains upon a man at all times. Right? The mitzvah of bris Milah, the mitzvah of having a bris, that's with you all the time. So yes, you can't perform it at night, but it can still be called by covenant of day and night because the bris Milah remains with a person all the time. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.